Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hayley and thank you so much for allowing me to join you on your journey today. So in today's video, I wanted to discuss the authenticity of your crystals. Does it really matter? Does it matter if you find out you got a fake crystal after you already purchased it? I want to be discussing that topic, but before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe to join my tribe. We are a lovely, supportive group of people here, so make sure you click subscribe to join our tribe. I also have a link in the description box to my Instagram. Make sure you go check that out. I post spiritual content there and very cute pictures of yours truly. I also have an email listed below where I can give you a private tarot reading or perform other magical services like spell work and numerology. So without further ado, let's go on ahead and discuss these crystals. All right, so the first thing that got me thinking about, does it really matter if you've had a crystal for a while and you find out it's not real? Now, what I'm mainly talking about is, like, for example, the most common example I could think of is citrine. There's a lot of fake citrine out there when really it's just a torched amethyst. So here's an example I have. I wanted to bring in examples so you guys can understand. So this is actually a torched amethyst and they call it citrine. They will usually torch amethyst. Literally, they'll have they'll have an amethyst like this, and they'll literally just torch it with a gun, or with like a torch gun. And what happens is that it turns this very neon, or not neon, but like this very dark orange. And then I believe this is a real piece of citrine. You know, I even doubt this piece, but I'm pretty sure this is a piece of raw citrine, a real piece of raw citrine. So if this is not real, let me know in the comments down below. But I want to talk about that. Does it change the magical properties of this stone because it's not exactly the same as this? And I received a comment on one of my videos. So if you're watching, I'm not angry at you, I'm not mad at you. You really got my wheels turning and thinking. I have a video, and I think it was like the best crystals to manifest with, something along the lines of that. And I received a comment talking about how this selenite here is actually not real selenite. So I didn't even know that real selenite was a thing. I thought selenite was, selenite. That's what I thought. Turns out, this is actually satin spar. So satin spar is pretty much like the unauthentic version of selenite. Selenite, true selenite, is more like, it's less cloudy and it doesn't have these lines here. So the person who commented that, thank you for letting me know. But you also got my wheels turning. Does it change? I've had this satin spar for maybe 5 years. So this got my wheels turning. Does this change my magical associations, my relationship with this stone? Does it change it just because it's labeled selenite? Does it give it the power of selenite? So I really got to thinking about this, and I was thinking about this ever since they left that comment. And by the way, I'm totally not bothered by the comment. I was actually informed. I learned a lot. I was very grateful for the comment because you made me think about this. So I was thinking, does it matter? I've been using this as selenite for 5 years, okay? And it has worked as selenite. It has worked with the properties of selenite. Even though it is satin spar, which is a completely different crystal, they look very similar to selenite and satin spar, but they're different. Does that change the property of it? And honestly, I think no. And here's why. I think it is important to be an informed consumer and make sure you're buying what you're wanting to purchase. I do agree with that. I think that is very important. However, if you're like me and you found out years later that this stone you purchased was not authentic, does it change what it's done for you? Does it change your relationship? I think no, because when you think of magic and spell work and manifesting and attracting energies, it's all about your intention. What is the desire behind what you're trying to manifest or what you're trying to work with? So for 5 years, this has been selenite. This is selenite to me, right? So with that intention of selenite, I feel like it gives the crystal the properties of selenite. Just like how I had both of these stones, both citrines. I've had both citrines for, well, I've had this one longer than this one, around many years, let's say that. And to me, they work the same. Literally, they work the same to me. To me, these are both citrine and they both work the same. So, I also think, if you see anything, a black mass behind me, it's my puppy dog. She wanted to be in here. Anyways, but something else, and this is why I really just think that the intention behind what you have matters, is when I read the comment talking about how this is actually satin spar, and the person was really respectful. They were educating me, and I was very grateful for that. I read that, and I had my boyfriend help me because there was a lot of science terminology. I was like, what the hell is this? And he's very scientific. I motioned like he's here, he's not here. But I had him pretty much dumb it down for me and explain it to me. And what he was saying is that it's different because, I'm not gonna go into it, you can read the comment, it's on that video, but it's basically a different process on how they're formed. And after I read that comment and I realized like, oh, it's not the same. I didn't feel any different about my stone. I was like, oh, well, it's still selenite to me. like it's still the same stone for me. It didn't change anything about how I feel towards the stone. It's still selenite to me. So that got me thinking. Then after I said that, I was like, wait, maybe as a spiritual person, maybe as a witch, maybe I shouldn't resonate the same with this crystal. Maybe I should feel different about it. Maybe because it's not exactly what I thought I was purchasing, maybe that changes the property of the crystal. And then I realized, no, it doesn't. I mean, you can literally charge crystals with your energy to give you specific things. So this citrine here, this unauthentic citrine, this is actually amethyst. If I don't know anything about amethyst being faked, I would purchase this thinking it was citrine. You know, especially if it says on the label at your metaphysical store or online, citrine, and you're new to crystals or you just never seen a citrine point before, you'd be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get this citrine. And you use it in spell work for citrine, you use the stone's property as citrine. I think you are charging the stone with your intention. So therefore, it doesn't matter. However, I do want to say, like how I said earlier, I think it is very important to be an informed consumer. However, spiritualism is not really something that is kind of like a class. You kind of get led through. No, you kind of just discover things for yourself. So I feel like if you are like me and you have stones that you had no clue were faked, I don't think it changes the property. Now, I do think it's important, if that matters to you, by all means, change the stone, use it for something else. If you realize that, oh, you actually have a piece of torched amethyst, and you're like, oh, it does not resonate as citrine anymore, then use it as amethyst or just take a break from it. You know, I'm not saying you should still use it because it doesn't matter. No, this is just my opinion and my point of view on this. But I also wanted to let you guys know that they do fake amethyst, and basically there are some amethysts that when they are taken out of the earth, they are not this dark purple. They are not this deep purple at all. So what they will do, just like the citrines, they'll also torch this, or they'll do some chemical processes to make the amethyst darker, especially because amethyst fades in the sunlight. I've had this amethyst right on my nightstand by my bed, and when I first got this, it was a gift, it was deep purple. And as it sat, there's a window right here in front of me, as it sat on my nightstand, it slowly began to fade, and it didn't matter where I put it in my room, amethyst fades over time. So some people will heat it up, or, oh, that's what I think they do. I think they torch this and heat this up. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. But a lot of the times it's like with fruits. Farmers will discard perfectly good fruit, perfectly edible fruit, if it's ugly, because we do not like to purchase ugly fruit. So if there's a rose quartz, for example, hold on, I want to show you guys this. Okay, so when you guys think of rose quartz, you think of this. You think of a light pink, dark pink stone that is pretty, right? You think pretty stone. Well, this here, believe it or not, is not a quartz crystal. It is a rose quartz as well. But if you look at them, they are totally different. If you're gonna look for a rose quartz, you're gonna look for this one. You're not gonna pick this one. So that's what companies will do. That's what like crystal miners will do. If they want to make their product more appealing, they'll heat it up, they'll torch it, they'll change the way it looks. So I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below what your opinion of this is. I'm really curious to know what it is, because I was literally thinking about this, and I thank the person who commented that. Literally, I'm not mad at them, I'm not upset at them, I'm just really thankful they pointed this out to me, because you gave me something different to chew on in my brain. I'm a Virgo, I like to think. So I'm like, does it truly matter? Because I went to my metaphysical store when I bought this new rose quartz and a bunch of other things I got, and I saw they had satin spar listed as selenite. So it got me wondering, does it matter? Like, the property, if your intention is for the properties of selenite, then your energy gives it that role. And if it's being harvested and sold as selenite, then it's receiving that energetic role as selenite. It's kind of like when you take a clear quartz and you give it the intention of a different stone if you're pairing it together. It doesn't change the properties of the clear quartz, but it more so gives it the energy, the influence, energetic influence of the amethyst or whatever else you're pairing with it. So I'm thinking that it would be the same kind of idea with satin spar and selenite. If people are harvesting satin spar, but with the intentions of selling it as selenite, yeah, that is kind of scammy and not that good if they're doing that on purpose, but maybe it will make this have the role of selenite. Like, even though this is satin spar, the crystal may, in theory, step up to being selenite. I don't know, I find it very interesting, and I think I'm gonna think about this more, especially if I get your guys' feedback in the comments on your standpoint on this. I would wonder, because if you found out that one of your crystals you had that you've been labeling as something else was actually the opposite of what it was, would that change your point of view? Would that make you feel different towards the crystal? Or would you still work with it with the energies you have designated it? I'd really like to know your thoughts in the comments down below. I searched up satin spar on one tab, and then I searched up authentic selenite on the other. And I literally for 10 minutes was trying to find a difference, but because even satin spar was coming up for authentic selenite. So it's this huge thing where I'm like, I don't know what to think, and I'm thinking my thoughts right now is that it doesn't matter. Yes, you should be an informed consumer, but I don't think it truly matters, especially if you've already set the intention for what the stone is supposed to do for you. But please, please, please let me know your opinions down in the comments down below. Thank you to that person who commented that comment. You actually helped me and made me think outside of the box a little bit, so thank you very much for that. But that concludes my video for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening and allowing me to join you on your journey today. Take care, everyone.